Alright guys, welcome to the video today. So in this video, I'm going to be going over pretty much everything to do with Rumble, how to win, different ways to win, strategies, all that sort of thing. So I'm going to be going over subclasses you might want to use, weapon loadouts that are really strong in Rumble, map control and how that has to do with radar, and then finally the post-mortem cam or the death cam and how you can use that to your advantage. So starting off with subclasses, what makes a subclass good for Rumble and why might you want to use it over a different subclass? So there's a lot of classes out there that are really good for something like 3v3 or 6v6 that just don't find a lot of success in Rumble, because Rumble is a unique game mode, and 6v6 and 3v3 are pretty broad because they have several different game modes revolving around that playlist and that set of players. Rumble is its own thing and it plays a lot different than any other game mode. So when you're looking for a subclass you want to use in Rumble to have success with, you want to look for a strong grenade, a strong melee, as well as a roaming super. Voidwalker is a personal favorite and that does not have a roaming super. If you do have a panic super and you're either a really good striker or a really good Voidwalker, that's not a big issue, and I strongly recommend you don't get out of your comfort zone and change to something like Stormcaller for Rumble. Personally, I pretty much only play Voidwalker, and the only reason I'm playing Stormcaller in this gameplay is because I just finished a Trials 1v3 and I wanted to hop into a Rumble, and I actually forgot to change my subclass. But having a panic super is still really strong because Rumble is pretty much all about map control, and if you can hold map control by using a super to kill maybe a blade dancer, a golden gun, a sunbreaker, whatever it may be, if someone pops their super on you and has a roaming super, now you have the upper hand because you had map control, and if you want to keep your streak going, you can just use your Nova Bomb or your Fist of Havoc and basically cancel out that super and continue on your streak, and you still hold map control. And in general, it's not really going to be an issue if you have a panic super because they're strong in different ways. But I think just hands down Stormcaller is going to be one of the best for Rumble, so it comes down to preference. But if I could recommend anything, I would go between Striker, Stormcaller, or Voidwalker. Moving on to weapons and what weapons you might want to use in Rumble, I see a lot of people who pretty much rock one loadout and they never change from it. If you have Last Word Sniper and you have a lot of success on one map like Cauldron, chances are you might not have the same exact success if you get a different map that doesn't cater to your weapon style. So rotating between IS Luna Shotgun, Hawksaw Shotgun, Last Word Sniper, IS Luna Sniper, just making sure that you can use multiple types of weapons at any given time is a really good idea, because not all maps are going to be great for the loadout that you pretty much only play with. So if you only use Last Word Sniper and you get Thieves Den, then you might not have the greatest time. Although Last Word is really good on Thieves Den, the general point of this and the general message is just that you want to be more consistent with your loadouts, and being able to change between any loadout is a really strong tool. And at the end of the day, even if you're not playing Rumble, even if it's Trials or Skirmish or whatever, having the ability to change between multiple weapons, either primary or secondary, is going to work a lot in your favor. And in general, you're going to find that you start losing a lot less Rumble games because you're not just going to be good on one map. You can play on all different sorts of maps, and you know how to play with all different sorts of loadouts. So making sure you practice with different loadouts and making sure that you have all your weapons on one character at a given time, because I know a lot of people, like even personally, I play a lot of different subclasses and a lot of different classes, so I might not even have all my weapons on one character. So switching over all your weapons to whatever character you're playing Rumble on at that current moment is going to be good, because you can change between all your different weapon loadouts depending on the map. So my personal preference is running IS Luna Shotgun, IS Luna Sniper, and Last Word Sniper. Sometimes I'll go Last Word Shotgun, but it really isn't that much of a reason to, unless I got something like Thieves Den or anything along those lines. You just want to, basically the general point is you got to make sure you know how to use multiple different things, because if you don't, you're going to find yourself in a few difficult places when it comes to rotating maps. Moving on to the last two sections, we have map control and how that has to do with radar, and then post-mortem or death cams and how you can use those to your advantage. So the first one I want to go over is just death cams, because I feel like it's a lot simpler to explain than the first option. So death cams, right? When you die, you don't just want to leave it on the character that killed you, because you can rotate between all players on the map. And if you can take the time to make sure you know where all people are at any given time, so let's just say you die, then you rotate through everyone and then you spawn. So now you go into the map knowing the general area of where people are going to be. So if you spawn in one place, then you know you're not going to get spawn killed if you run to a certain spot, because if you see someone hard scoping a lane off your death cam, then you're going to know that you don't want to run through that lane because you're probably going to end up getting sniped. So just making sure that you pay attention when you die is a really big part of Rumble, and it can help you a ton with knowing where enemies are, and in general just staying alive a lot longer and basically just minimizing the deaths that you have in any given Rumble game. And then the final thing is map control and radar, and how you want to kind of pair these together. So once you go off spawn and you use the death cam method to make sure you don't get farmed off spawn, you just want to kind of hold down locations that you know you can't get killed from multiple angles from. So making sure there's only really one line of sight that you can be killed from at any given time helps, and using your radar to your advantage. Basically just staying as far away from people as possible until they're the first one that approaches your radar, so you know where they are, and you can kind of pick your fights depending on that. Because if you know there are multiple blips coming from different directions, then chances are you're gonna get multi-teamed. And in something like Rumble, if you have 2 people on you, there's literally never a situation where you're gonna win, because the way spawn works, it's never ever like 2 people just running straight at you from one lane. It's one from the left, one from the right, one behind, one's throwing a skip grenade, one's throwing an axion. It's just really hectic. So making sure you're only engaging with one person at a time is gonna help you a lot. I hope you enjoyed this video today, and I hope it helped you when you play Rumble, and I hope to see you guys in my next video. Peace.